Welcome to day 3, module 3. Today I'm going to go over how to research a design, which is very important because you don't want to get knocked with any trademark, copyright things, or get your listing deactivated or your account suspended. So it's very important before you start designing to research what you're actually going to be designing, as well as researching the kind of design you're going to be creating, based off of what your niche is, who your ideal audience is, the product that you're going to be designing for, as well as researching those products. So today we're going to go over how to find the product you want to design, how to select your print provider for that product, how to find the file size requirements to create a design for that product. I'm going to show you how to use Canva to create the design, as well as create a design digitally drawn using Procreate. I'm also going to show you how to research copyrights if you are using text or images that, are iffy. And then how I get inspiration, as well as where I find fonts and graphics to use for my design. So let's get started. So before I even start to design for the product, I like to select products and kind of brainstorm ideas for products that would fit well for my niche audience. So in the middle, we have our audience, and 8 kind of key points that we might be brainstorming for products. That could be an audience that's going to be geared towards home decor, or art prints, seasonal items, bestsellers, all over print accessories, or pets. Now, there are probably thousands of products within these categories, as well as the audience that would be interested in these products. For example, my sample audience is going to be like kids / back to school. If you have browsed around any department store or like Target or Walmart recently, you've probably seen the back to school section and all of the products that are in that area for back to school and kids. So for this example, I'm going to show you some product ideas, as well as some subcategories of products that you could, potentially be creating for your ideal audience. So for back to school, that could be stationery, whether it be a notebook, a laptop sleeve, or even a pencil pouch or a bookmark. It could be a mask, like a face mask, or shoes, or a backpack, and then maybe some items that might go in that backpack, like a lunchbox or a water bottle or a snack bag or a bag tag, that's going to have your kids, like, personal information on it for maybe like school checkout or in case their stuff gets lost. So when thinking of products, I like to think of what I personally use if I was in that audience. I also love, like I said, walking around my Target or Walmart, TJ Maxx, etc. for inspiration to see what's going to be in season. I kind of missed out on the back to school season, but now I know if I'm going to be designing for that, start like in June, because it launches, I'd say mid-July, August is when kids are going back to school. So now if you're thinking about creating designs, now would be the perfect time to start creating for the upcoming holiday season. So that would be Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And then, smaller holidays that fall in between October, November, and December. So follow along and research some products with me. Okay, I'm going to get started and show you all how I research products design ideas, copyrights, etc. for creating a niche specific product and design for my shop. So for this example, we're going to go into my Rebel Fount designs. This is my home decor brand. Oh, except for this one, which apparently ended up there somehow. Okay, so my home decor is all based on my audience, my ideal audience that I make these designs for. I've kind of grouped into 4 or 5 different categories. So here you can see I have kind of my, I would say more like retro inspired designs, and all of these designs specifically for Rebel Fount I have drawn digitally on Procreate and then created like all over print patterns and stuff to then put on these home decor products. When I was first coming up with kind of, you know, my audience for my Rebel Fount shop, I headed to Pinterest and basically started looking for not only design ideas, but kind of, you know, niches that went within those design ideas. The line I'm working on right now for Rebel Fount is geared towards more of like romantic, gothic, academia kind of stuff. So what I'm going to look up is gothic home decor. But I'm going to make sure we're searching all pins. And this is what pops up. So based off of products that I already have in my shop, I offer blankets, comforters, pillow shams, pillowcases, floor pillows, curtains, and rugs. So really essentials for decorating a bedroom. So some of this stuff, some of these products wouldn't really apply except for like, you know, a rug, or just kind of like getting an idea of like the aesthetic, color palettes, as well as, you know, what people are pinning and what's popular. So yeah, I go to Pinterest and I get some design inspiration. For this example, I want to come up with a comforter or like a blanket or something. So I'm going to show you how I would create a pattern using Canva and Canva elements. So let's head over to Printify. We're going to go to Catalog, Home, and Living, which are, there we go, I passed right over them, blankets. So like I said, comforters, because look at that starting price point. This is how much Printify charges to produce the twin size comforter. So it starts at $69.63, and it has this is the only print provider that offers this. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna design a comforter. We're gonna do it through Printify, just because my shop is already hosted on Printify and I want to kind of keep all my products together. Now, when I price these, this is an over $100 product, and I like to kind of add in my, you know, what I would like to earn from this product, as well as I like to add shipping kind of into the product already. And then on my Etsy shop, offer free shipping, because in a customer mindset, which you kind of have to have when you're pricing higher items like this, is no one's going to want to spend, you know, over $100 on a comforter and then pay shipping on top of it, but they will spend a little over $100 for, you know, the whole thing altogether, and free shipping is just more enticing. So this comforter comes in 4 different sizes, and it is printed on one side only. So when you scroll down, you can see some of the product details and then how big they are as well. And here again are those 4 various sizes. So on Printify, when you design through Printify, when you select Start Designing, you are taken to your design file template, essentially. This is where you're able to upload your images, as well as, you know, you can add image from Shutterstock or a file that you already have. You can hire someone like me from Fiverr to create these designs for you. And when you scroll down on the side a little bit, you'll be able to see the print file size requirements for this specific comforter. This is quite large. You are not able to create a file this big on Canva. And this is also for the 104 inches by 88 inch comforter. There's other product variants, you know, so this is the variants are the sizes that you're going to offer. So I'm going to offer that one. That's the twin. This is like a king size, and one of these is like, I think this one's full and then this one's queen. But anywhere from $69 to cost of production to $91 for the large. But you know, that's a lot of fabric and it's a lot of printing, and that's why it costs that much. But with these higher to produce items, you're able to set your profit margins higher. So you know, instead of selling a t-shirt for $20 and making $5 on it, you can sell this for over $100 and make $30 to $50 in profit, depending on, you know, the size. So now, again, it will automatically do it for the largest size. So we have a print area size. It needs to be 15,900 pixels by 14,175 pixels with a minimum of 150 dpi and then a maximum resolution of 30,000 pixels by 30,000 pixels. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to show you how we're going to create a pattern. So essentially, when we finish our design on Canva and we plug it into Printify, we'll have created a pattern. So our pattern will essentially repeat all over the place, square by square, or like, you know, half of the blanket by half of the blanket, and then just like repeat. Though I would recommend for larger items like this, it is much easier to create a repeating pattern than it is to create a huge design that's going to cover the whole blanket. Though I would recommend, if you are creating an literally all over print design, you are using Procreate or Adobe or Affinity or some type of program that's going to allow you to create a larger file size without having to resize that much. So let's head over to Canva. When creating a design in Canva for a print like this, because this is a little rectangle essentially. You know, it's not a perfect square. You want to keep that in mind when you're creating your pattern, or you can also create a pattern that is just a square. So that's what I'm gonna do. So when we start to repeat our pattern, it will be a lot easier to fit in our design template than it would be to, you know, figure out, okay, well, I need to make a rectangle in this. So even if I have, you know, a square here, and then another one would fit here, another one would fit here, and then this last one would kind of be cut off a little bit, that's okay, because I can basically select all of these at one time and move them over to where when it's cut off, it's still going to look good, you know. So let's go to Canva. I selected a square file. This is what we're going to be designing, and keeping in mind, you know, this Gothic kind of style. That's what we're going to design for. So I want to search for elements that are going to connect with that style. So I'm going to search Gothic under elements. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here as well. I'm blind, so I want to see better. So here we have a lot of elements under Gothic that pop up. I don't want to do anything too like spooky. I'm more so looking for like dark academia, romantic, like a little spooky, but not like Halloween ghosts and like this. Absolutely not. And speaking of images like this, does this remind you of anything? Yes, it does. And look at all of these that pop up. If you have seen Wednesday Addams, you can, you know, definitely attest to, hey, that looks like Wednesday Addams. Yes, that's because this artist has drawn these elements to resemble Wednesday Addams. No. Now, does that allow you to use these items? Yes, you totally can. So when it comes to using elements like this, I would stay away from them, because although with a pro subscription you're able to use them, it basically gives you a full license for commercial use. This is still like intellectual property of something, a show. You know, these characters exist already. If you were to create something inspired by Wednesday Addams, you definitely could, but using stuff like this and then putting it on Etsy will shut you down. Etsy doesn't mess around with copyrighted material and intellectual property. So before you start designing, if it's inspired by a movie or a TV show or a famous quote, you need to check the copyrights. But in my humble and most honest and professional opinion, if it's from a TV show or a song or a movie or whatever, I would just stay away from it, because it's not worth getting your listings or your shop shut down or closed indefinitely. I have had that happen with a shop and it sucks. So I recommend not doing it. I've definitely learned my lesson. That was years ago, but now it's like Etsy does not mess around. And it's really unfortunate, because if you go onto Etsy, you'll see so many copyrighted things, and it's like, you know, how is that fair? It's not. But, you know, when you're starting a shop, you you can't focus on what other people are doing unless they are your direct competition. But if you're putting designs up and products up with copyrighted material, you know, you're not really copying, you're not really competing with anyone. You're just kind of racing against the clock to see when your stuff is going to get shut down. Scrolling through here, I'm not super inspired by any of these items. I kind of want to do, I think like bats would be cool, or some type of like crow. So I'm gonna search bats. Okay, here we go. Now this gives me a little bit more variety. But I definitely want to create something that is, you know, going to be essentially a repeating pattern. So like with stuff like this, there are patterns that you can already use. I would recommend with patterns like this though, you add other elements into them, because unless you are creating your own patterns like this, you can't just use this pattern on a product and put it on a print-on-demand product, because you Canva allows you to use these pro elements with the understanding that you don't own them, but when you create a new design with them, that becomes, you know, your design. So if I wanted to use this pattern, I would have to add other elements into it to then make it my own design. Changing the color as well will customize it. So you can't just get an element right from Canva, put it on a shirt, and then call it a day. That's not good print-on-demand practice. So, but if you are to use a all-over print pattern like this, I'll show you. This artist has created a print pattern for you. So by lining these elements up, you'll be able to create a pattern essentially with the design element straight from Canva. Now this one unfortunately leaves you with a little line in between, so I'm not going to be using this, but I hope that gave you a better idea of, like, you know, a repeating pattern or what it can look like. So with that in mind, I want to make sure I'm designing on my whole screen because that's going to be my pattern, but then I also kind of want to, oh, these are cute. I like these. Drawn little bats. Cute. So I'm going to use these, but I'm going to kind of make a pattern with them. I'm going to bring it right to the edge, but I'm not going to let it go over the edge. So with this one, I'm going to put that one right there. I'm going to get this one and we'll put it right there. I do want these kind of large though, because when I create the pattern with them in Printify, they're going to shrink down a little bit because just of how I have to repeat the pattern without enlarging my file. Now with this one, I want it off the edge of the design, but I want to then copy this, and where that wing cuts off, I want to crop it, and then I'm going to move that literally right over so it's matched up. So hopefully when I create a pattern in Printify, that wing, when I copy this image and duplicate it next to itself, that wing is going to show up right there, creating a seamless pattern. That's my hope. But again, a lot of designing, I would say, unless you are constantly designing the same stuff over and over and over again, like t-shirts. T-shirts, you know where they're going to go, you know how big it has to be. So designing stuff like that, it's a little bit easier. Now this one, I kind of want it to pop off the top and the side, but then that one's right there. So I'm thinking if I do that, I can't have it go too far. But then we'll see. We'll see what happens. Line that up and then crop that just with a little bit of hang. Okay. And then moving this one literally directly across. So again, creating that seamless pattern, hopefully. I think I'm gonna add another element here, another one here, and then maybe one on the bottom to where it will copy on the top. So let's see what we can do. I don't really want to repeat any of these. So I'm going to duplicate it, line it up, and then crop it just here, and then take this element and put it over here. Oh, and then I'm going to have to move this guy up a little bit, and this one up a little bit, and then this one up a little bit too, so it matches. There we go. And then maybe another element right here, like a smaller bat, and turn it sideways a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, now I'm going to add a background color. Keeping in mind that kind of gothic style, I want to do like a dark red or something. I think that's pretty. And then I'm going to keep the bats black. So this is my final design for a repeating surface pattern that we're going to then put onto this blanket in a repeating kind of way. So let's save it.
I'm at 100. 100 out of 100 is not annoying.
Okay, so I'm going to share, download, and download. And when that is completed, we will go here, scroll up to my device, and then get that pattern and upload it to our file library. So here it is. We see that with the size right now, it has a high resolution with 120 DPI. And here are some more of the sizing specs. If I decrease the size or increase the size, now I've changed the DPI to a medium resolution, where if I shrink it in, that resolution is going to go higher as well as the DPI is going to increase. So I kind of want to put this on my blanket in a pattern. You can duplicate it. These are how you would flip it vertically or horizontally. That would be to fill it to the whole page, but we don't want to do that because then our resolution would be very, very low. You can create a pattern with this to where, look, our design, our all over design worked. So we can see, thankfully, there's no parts that get cut off. Everything looks very seamless, I would say. So You can do this manually. All I did was make sure when I uploaded this design, if you select create pattern under where all of the sizing specs are, you can pick how you want your pattern to be. I created this print pattern as a grid, so basically, you know, lining them up one by one next to each other in rows and columns, to where if I did this, they might line up. Well, it looks like it lines up okay. And then as well as that one's not going to work for the design pattern that I created, so I'm going to stick with the grid. And that's how you are able to create an all-over print design using simple Canva elements. Now from here, this design that we've created is only for the 104 inches by 88 inch comforter. So before you go to save product, you want to make sure that your design looks good on each product variant that you are going to offer in your shop. When you're happy with that, you can save it, and then this will take you to your product listing essentially. So that's what this is going to look like. So here's what that is going to look like. I absolutely love how this turned out. That is so freaking cute. Love it. For these specific products, Printify doesn't offer a super huge selection of mock-up images. You can definitely take this mock-up image and save it and then create your own mock-ups digitally. You can also buy samples. Unfortunately, these samples are going to be expensive because the cost to produce this is like $70 for the twin, but selling one of them will afford you to buy that sample, you know. These comforters, I have a few of them. I got them for my kids. They helped me create a design for their bedding because shopping, we didn't really find anything they liked, and I wanted it to be something where my 10-year-old would like as well as my 4-year-old would like. So I have bought samples of the twin sizes. They are very comfortable. They're easy to wash, easy to dry. I tried to, you know, follow care instructions as best as I can, but being a mom at home, I have put these in the dryer multiple times and they're fine, and the print is still a vibrant color. But anyways, this is where you would enter your listing details when coming up with a listing. So make sure when you are describing your product, it's going to be what is it? What does it look like? Who is it for? Maybe if you're designing home decor, like what room is it for? Your like audience type, maybe what they're looking for, or like if it's seasonal. This is, you know, spooky bats, so I would definitely include like Halloween, spooky season, that kind of stuff. And then like maybe the color or the size, the material, all that. But when you go to create your product listing, Printify basically gives you kind of like this starter basic description. You can definitely use this, or you can change it completely. Like I said, I utilize ChatGPT to help me with writing all of my product descriptions, but for an example, good Etsy description practice is right away making sure the exact same product title starts off your product description. And then you're going to basically give like a interesting summary of what your product is about, as well as who it is intended for. Then you skip lines. You can give a little bit more detail about design and include these in bullet points. So let's say for this product in particular, you would say all over bat pattern, deep, elegant maroon color, and then you could say detailed stitching, and then make some spaces, and then do product details. And these are going to be your product specs. So like how large the product is, what it's made out of, any other like specifications that you would want to include. And then I also like to include care instructions. You can get all of this information directly from your Printify page, like where you start to design the product when we scroll down. So again, just make sure you're including spaces, you're including bullet points, you're making it easy to read. It is good Etsy practice to essentially be writing your descriptions like you are talking to a fourth grader. So simple, easy to understand description, as well as not too fancy words, spaced out bullet points. And then Etsy really likes when you include not only bullet points and the title in your description as well, but creating a description with at least 250 words. That's just good Etsy practice. And again, I basically take all of this information and I input it to ChatGPT, and within a few seconds it has generated a 250 word description with all of the things that I wanted to include for my product description. Also, at the bottom or end of your description, feel free to add in tags or keywords. These are in addition to the tags that you are able to put in your Etsy listing. Etsy lets you put up to 26 tags. Some of them are only 20 characters, and then some of them I believe can be like up to 90 characters. So it is good to include tags at the end of your description. And Printify also allows you to add in a table size to your description as well, which is, I think, just a good idea. And it also increases your word count. Now, when you scroll down, we get to the pricing of your product. For this product specifically, I am going to price these differently, because when you go to the store and you buy a comforter, you're not going to be paying the same price for a twin as you would a king, because it's just a different amount of fabric. So with this price point in mind, Printify suggests that for the 68 by 88 inch comforter, I should retail it at $116, and that will give me a profit margin of 40%, being $46.42. With the production cost estimated as well as that estimated shipping cost. Now, because I want to include shipping in the price and then offer free shipping to my customers, I'm going to add the shipping into the cost of the actual product. So make sure when you're changing the prices, the retail price is the one that you want to be editing. You could also select all and change all of them, but because each of these are going to have a different retail price, I'm doing them individually. So here I have changed the 68 by 88 inch comforter, which is like a twin size comforter, to $134.95. And here Printify is showing me that I have a profit margin of 48%, with a profit of $65.32. But because I've added this cost into the retail price, I'm going to subtract $26.69 from my profit. So that will give me about like a $20 profit, which for a comforter is not bad, because it's a lot better than putting all this time into designing a t-shirt and making, you know, $3 to $6 per shirt. Because being successful with print on demand and items like this, you don't have to sell as many comforters to make that daily sales goal as you do with shirts. If I'm selling a shirt and earning $5, if I want to make $100 a day, I have to sell 20 shirts. If I want to make $100 a day and I'm selling comforters, I only have to sell 5 comforters versus 20 shirts. So in the long run, it is, I would say, my professional advice. If you're starting print on demand, look for items that you can sell for a higher retailed price. And then if you can, include the shipping in the retail price. So when you go to list it on your shop, like on Etsy, you're able to offer that shipping for free because you've already included it in the price. Because if I wanted to keep this at, you know, $116, whatever, plus the shipping, it would be the same cost anyways. But a customer doesn't know that because they're not doing the, you know, back work of this print on demand and pricing and everything. So it's a little trick, and it is much more enticing for a customer to see, oh, this would be like $30 for shipping, but wow, it's free shipping, so I'm definitely gonna get it. Moving on down, after you are content with all of this, you are going to publish it in your shop. This will publish it onto Printify as well as whatever shop you have integrated with your account. If you want to publish it and then have it go into like your draft listings, just select hide and store, and then you can publish it and it will end up in your drafts. So that's how you create a pattern design for a Printify product using Canva. Next, I'm going to show you all how I create a repeating pattern with Procreate. Okay, I have a super weird setup right now, so I hope you all can follow along well enough, and I'll go slow and I'll show my steps. So I'm going to be creating a all over seamless pattern in Procreate. I am on my iPad right now, and then Procreate is just right here. I'm going to select that. And then if you are familiar or not with Procreate, these are basically where all your drawings are going to pop up, and if you want a new drawing to pop up, you're going to select the plus at the top of the screen. Sorry for the glare. And then that basically shows all of the different canvas size options. I'm just going to select a 5000 pixel by 5000 pixel canvas. Oh, and for some reason I have that on there. Okay, weird. Anyways, this is what it should look like. It's a square. And what I'm going to do first is have this layer be my background color that I want. So I'm going to do a kind of like this dark green color. I'm going to drag it. So now this is completely colored. That is my first layer, is the background. I'm going to add an additional layer onto that. And I'm going to just draw some lemons. I'm going to change my brush, I guess. I selected from the brush library this 4B compressed. I haven't bought any brushes for Procreate. I've kind of just been using the ones that comes with it. But anyways, I can shrink in my canvas. I can enlarge my canvas by zooming in. And I'm just kind of gonna doodle 3 lemons on here. Lemons are pretty easy because I'm just gonna start with like some ovals and color them in. And I'm gonna put one down here and color that one in. I like this 4B compressed brush. It kind of reminds me of like chalk. And I love playing with chalk outside with my kids. And then these lemons are gonna have like little points, and if your lemons are looking kind of weird, just once you get the points on them, you can make them a little bit more oval shaped, and then they'll look a little bit more lemony. And I'm not trying to get this to be perfect. I'm kind of digging the rough sketch look. Okay, so there are my lemons. I'm going to create another layer, select a different color, and I'm going to be putting some leaves on my lemon. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to, I think I'm going to decrease my brush size. And if you saw that, when I make a mistake, if you do a 2-finger press, it's undo. Just Procreate tips. It definitely takes a little bit getting used to, especially if you're used to, you know, drawing on paper in a traditional format. Getting used to Procreate is definitely it's a task. But yeah, practicing every day a little bit. I love watching YouTube tutorials. But yeah, so here I'm just making my leaf. Cool, so I made my 3 leaves on my lemons. I'm gonna add another layer, and I'm going to move this layer by holding it and move it down underneath my lemon layer. So anything that I draw now is going to show up behind my lemons, and I'm going to create a little bit darker of a leaf just to add some depth. Let's see how I'm drawing. It shows up not on top of my lemon where my lemon is, but it shows up underneath because we moved that layer, which is just another really cool Procreate thing, I think, because traditionally on paper or painting or whatever, you would have to, you know, add these layers in a little bit differently. Cool, so there are my leaves. Now I want to select my lemon layer, and I'm gonna add another layer on top of my lemons. I want to do a little bit of like highlighting on my lemons, so I'm gonna increase my brush size a little bit over here, And then that's a little too big. Okay, increase my brush size right there. I don't know if I like that or if I want to just do like little dots. I think I like the dots. Cool, that's cute. I know you can't really see it, just the glare is not my friend today. Okay, now I know you can't really see it, but we have dots on the lemons. Cool. Now that's all done. I'm going to go to this top layer. I'm gonna add another layer on top of that, and I'm gonna kind of add some like background elements. I want to do a different color, so I'm thinking maybe this like peachy color. I think that'll look cool. I'm gonna do little flowers. Color these in. Another one over here. And when I'm making these little elements, I'm making sure to not go off of the edge of my canvas. I'm staying within, you know, where my canvas is, just because that's important when creating a seamless pattern. You don't want to go over the edge. Otherwise, your pattern will get all wonky. Okay, now cute. I'm gonna add, the center of these flowers. Move this down a little bit so y'all can see what I'm doing.
It doesn't seem to help with those.
What? Okay, now I'm gonna add another layer. I'm gonna change my brush size just so it's really small. And I'm gonna add like some vine looking things, but I kind of want them to be more like a sea foam. Okay, let's see. I don't really like that, but I think if I do it more free-handed. I'm not trying to get this to be perfect. And that's okay. Need one down here. Okay. And then I think I'll do another one here. A big one. And then I think one more like element, maybe just like some random dots or something. Add that on another layer, and then, oh, hold on, I want to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, nope, too big. Okay. Boop. These are just random because I feel like little elements, especially in the background, just kind of help bring everything together. Okay, so this is what we're working with. This is the pattern. Now, to create a seamless pattern, what I want to do is I'm going to layer all of these together. So by pinching all of these layers together, one more, come on, pinch, thank you. So I've created a whole layer like that, and what I'm going to do is go to this little wrench on the top. I'm going to turn on my drawing guide, and then edit drawing guide, and I'm going to enlarge the grid size down here to the max. So I know you probably can't see it, but on your screen it'll be an up and down line and then a horizontal line, and then I'm going to press done. And then what I'm going to do with this is make sure I'll duplicate this layer and then this layer. So you have your layer and you're going to duplicate it, and then you're going to select this mouse cursor at the top. You're going to move that layer over till it snaps where those yellow guides are, and then you're going to select this layer and you're going to move it over to the left side until you get those lines again. Okay, and then you're going to make that all one layer, and you're going to duplicate it. You're going to select, you're going to move that one duplicated layer up towards the top till it snaps into place, and then you're going to move that other layer down till it snaps. These guides are on, make sure everything's lined up. Hello. Now you have that, and now you're going to duplicate your whole page. You're going to move it to the right and to the left, pinch them together to make one layer again, duplicate that layer. It's going to go up and down. You're going to pinch that into one layer again, and then now that your canvas is looking like that, you're going to duplicate this layer 4 times. You're going to select the cursor, and with each of these 4 layers you're going to move it into the corner. Move this one up into the corner. Move this one down to the corner. And then move this last one down to the corner again. Oops. The snapping tool is like not my friend. Cool. And there you have created your seamless pattern. Pretty neat, huh? I'm gonna go to the drawing guide and turn this off and make sure that everything looks pretty good. Cool. I'm going to show you how I get this pattern onto Printify, just like we did with the pattern from Canva. Here's your pattern. Cool. You're going to go to Gallery, and then this is the one we just made up here, this lemon one. This was when I was practicing for you guys. But this lemon one, that's the one we just made, so we're going to select that, share, and then I want it as a PNG file, and it will export onto my iPad. So then what I'm going to have to do is go into Printful on my iPad, and then import my image through my iPad on Printify. I'm gonna log in really quick, and then we want to do another blanket. So we'll go down here, we'll go to Home and Living, we'll go to Blankets, and then I want that Sherpa one again, so we're gonna go to the Sherpa, select, start designing, and then I'm gonna add my design from here, from my device, photo line, select my lemon pattern. Okay, here we go. So this, if we go down to where it says options, it says it's high resolution, but I don't want it to be that large. So I'm going to, usually I would do this with my pencil, but I'm just using my finger because I don't care. So we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna do it like that big. And then I'm going to go over to where it says options and create a pattern. I'm going to select that. And I'm just going to select grid because that's how I designed my repeating pattern. And then I'm going to exit out of here so we can see what it looks like. And there we go! Looks great. And even if you zoom in, oops, I just moved that one. Or did I? Nope, I didn't. Okay, that's what it looks like. Let's preview it and see how it looks in context. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. Love it. Cool. And then same process, you would just save and add it as a product on your shop with a SEO title, description, tags, all that good stuff. But that is how you create a surface pattern design on Procreate for a print-on-demand product. Lastly, where are we getting inspiration from? I personally love using Pinterest trends specifically, to look for trending ideas, inspiration, things that are, going to be becoming more popular as time goes on. If you do have a Pinterest account, you can view Pinterest trends by having a Pinterest business account. It's completely free to sign up. You just have to do it in your settings. To get onto this page that I'm on right now, you would go to Analytics and then select Trends, and it will bring you to this Pinterest Trends page. You can search keywords trending on Pinterest right in the search bar up top. If you scroll down below, you can see top trends this month, as well as other trends on Pinterest. Now here I'm in the United States, but that's where I'm located, so that's where my trends are going to be showing up. So here we can see keywords that have been popular. It's a lot of fall, Halloween, seasonal trends, seasonal keywords. If we wanted to search individual keywords, we totally could. I'm going to search frogs. So here we can see there are some trends that are becoming more popular in a weekly and monthly change. Costumes, Princess and the Frog, aesthetic, some good stuff. If we are searching for more print-on-demand related stuff, I want to search for, let's say I have a shop, and with the holiday season coming up, we are a stationery shop and we want to be designing our own gift wrapping paper. So I'm going to search wrapping paper, and it is definitely trending. And we can see by selecting that keyword other related trends, how they are performing as well. And this helps as far as when you have a shop. I would definitely recommend marketing your shop, your products on Pinterest. Pinterest is, I would say, a really key marketing platform for your business, and it's absolutely free to use. So it's like a no-brainer. So what I like to use Pinterest trend keywords for is when I am creating those pins, I have these highly searched keywords in my pin titles, my pin descriptions, as well as my alt text and pin tags. And then scrolling down below, we can see some popular pins for Christmas wrapping paper as well as Christmas wrapping paper ideas. So Pinterest for inspiration, I definitely am a fan of Pinterest. Secondly, I use Creative Fabrica to get inspiration from. I also download all of my fonts from Creative Fabrica. They offer a yearly subscription. It's on special now. It is about $60 for the whole year, but that's so worth it because some of these bundles or fonts you're paying per item, and that can really add up, especially if you're like me and you're using this on the daily or downloading new fonts almost daily. So getting that yearly subscription definitely makes it worth it and pays for itself. I love using Creative Fabrica to get ideas for designs, for client ideas. And because I have a Creative Fabrica subscription, I'm able to use everything and anything as long as it has a commercial rights license as well as a full POD license that comes with this image or bundle or font, whatever. So like this one, for example, it's super cute, retro fall kind of style. You can see here this creator, Lazy Cat, which has so many cute things that I absolutely love. Their bundle for this retro fall sublimation bundle that comes with 10 designs, they're all PNG files. It is a commercial and full POD usage allowed, and that is just for me. If I was to download these files and put them on my own shop, I could do that because my subscription comes with that. Now, when I use Creative Fabrica or Pinterest to get inspiration for clients, I will take these as reference and then I will either go on Canva or Procreate and create designs that are similar or inspired by popular designs that I find on Creative Fabrica or Pinterest, and then make them my own or make them in the style that my client is looking for. But I would say Creative Fabrica and Pinterest together are great places to find trends and inspiration, especially as a designer, and along with Pinterest. If you sign up for a Pinterest business account, Pinterest Trends comes out with a basically yearly kind of update on their trends, their trend prediction, and it's almost the end of the year. So that means 2024 Pinterest Predicts is going to be coming soon. And so far this year, they have been pretty on point. So it is a great little tool, almost like a secret recipe that you know what's going to be popular. So designing stuff ahead of time that you know is going to be on trend eventually definitely helps designing and coming up with designs for clients. I hope day 3 was helpful for you. Day 4 is coming up next, so stick around.